One thing I've always told you guys is that Aquarius are extremely stubborn, okay? I was talking to somebody the other day, and she was saying to me, why is my Aquarius so hard-headed? She's an Aries, and she was trying to tell her Aquarius something, and the Aquarius fought her up and down. First he ignored her, and then he fought her up and down about what she was trying to tell him. And she said to me, why are Aquarius so hard-headed? And I'm like, yo, we hard-headed as fuck. Real talk. And I'm going to talk to you about a reason, one important reason why. There are a lot of reasons. We are a stubborn sign. We're a fixed sign. So any sign that says fixed next to it is going to be more stubborn than other signs, period. But there is a little bit of truth in this that you might not have thought of. So let me do the introduction and I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody who might like it too, okay? And if you want to become one of my patrons or one of my members, the Patreon information is underneath this video. If you want to get a reading done, all that information is underneath this video. Underneath this video has a lot of information, so check it out, okay? And if you want to become a member, check out the section that says join underneath this video, and please join and become a member. So also, remember to leave us a positive comment in the comment section. I love reading your comments. So, hard-headed as fuck Aquarius. Why is this? Well, you know, like I said, we're a fixed sign, so there's a stubborn energy to us immediately. My mother said I was stubborn since day one. It wasn't like I became stubborn. She said I was a stubborn baby. She would tell me, don't do this, don't touch that, don't go there, and I had to find out why. She said that was always my thing. I had to know why. She would be like, baby, why did you do that? I had to know why. Why is the stove? Well, you said don't touch the stove. You said it's hot. Like, let me see. Is it really hot? Like, I had to always test everything. And I guess because that's a Aquarius thing, but also because I've come to find, and this was only reinforced as I became older, I came to find that people don't know what they're talking about. And this is probably true for a lot of Aquarius because we've talked about it before. And we all had this consensus, those of us that talked about it, not every Aquarius, but a lot of us are like, people don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to tell you, people talk out their ass, straight up. They will tell you anything. Sometimes they know what they're talking about. They've researched it. They've read it. They're an expert on it. They've experienced it. They Googled it, something. And other times, they're just talking about what they think they know, what they heard. They don't know what they're talking about. Think about when you were a kid and all the misinformation you heard on the playground. Think about all of that. I remember one time somebody told me on the playground in like middle school that you couldn't get pregnant from sex. You could only get pregnant if you had sex a certain kind of way. I was 10 at the time and I didn't know. I wasn't having sex. So I didn't know anything about it. But then I got older and started taking classes. You know, we have health class, and I realized that person was dead wrong. So a lot of people tell me things, tell you things that are not true. Sometimes they know they're not true, and sometimes they don't know they're not true. So as an Aquarius, as I got older and more people told me shit that was dead wrong, and more people told me stuff that was wrong, and I found myself right more often than not. And I'm like, well, why am I listening to these people? Why am I listening to anybody if I'm usually right and they're usually wrong? Now, mind you, this isn't everybody. It's not all the time. I can talk to 20 people and 20 people can be right about everything they said. And then that 21st person tell me some okie doke, you know? So it's not everybody and it's not all the time. My mother is a great example of this because my mother is really she's really insightful sometimes. And sometimes she's so off the mark that I'd be like, are you even paying attention? So she's a great example. Sometimes my mother is on it. I mean, on it. She can see the dice before they stop rolling. And at other times, with to me, the simplest thing, she totally missed it. It went right over her head. So some people are right sometimes, such as authority figures, parents, teachers, things like that. So for me, over time, it made me question. And I think for a lot of Aquarius, it makes us even more hard-headed. It made me question everything and everyone that everybody ever says to me. Whenever somebody says something to me, people always say Aquarius overthink. And this is one of those times. When people say anything to me, I think critically about what they said. You could have told me the sky is blue, the ice cream man is around the corner. You could have said anything, and I'm going to think, like, the ice cream man don't come in the wintertime. Like, I'm going to think about what you said, whatever you say to me, no matter how small it is. And sometimes this is kind of annoying for me because some of the time it's like, just leave it alone. I tell myself, leave it alone. It's enough, you know? So that is a reason why many Aquarius are hard-headed. And another part I said is that a lot of times I'm right. Now, mind you, nobody's right 100% of the time. It's just, it is what it is. I can tell you something that I've read, and that information could no longer, it could be obsolete. Maybe I read it 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and now more information has come out. So people can be wrong at any time. But for me, a lot of times when people have told me I was wrong, they were either trying to gaslight me or they just didn't know what I was talking about. You know, they thought they were right, you know, and they're telling me, oh, no, you wrong. And I'm like, because I did research it, unlike you. And for this reason, because Aquarius are often right, many of us are often right, we do become more hard-headed. And we get the reputation, many of us, for being freaking know-it-all. Some people say that to me all the time. They're like, my Aquarius is such a know-it-all. And I'm like, your Aquarius probably right. And they're like, yeah, the Aquarius is right, but they ain't got to be a know-it-all all the time. So some people get irritated with it. And I'm just like, I can't do nothing about that one. I can't do nothing about your Aquarius being right all the time and it's obnoxious. I can't do anything about that one, but it does happen. So as an Aquarius, what I've learned is to try and not volunteer information. We've talked about this before. I try to let people ask me for information, or I offer it. I will often say, would you like some information? Would you like my opinion? That's why when people come to me to vent, I always ask them, do you want me to listen or do you want me to respond? Do you want me to give you solutions or do you want me to just shut up and listen? Because that can help a little bit with that energy. So that's why the Aquarius is hard-headed. We're right a lot. It is what it is. And the more we're right, the more hard-headed we become, the more stubborn we are. So the one thing I could tell you, if you want your Aquarius to trust your word, because the people whose word that I do trust, because there are a lot of people who I do trust their word, and they are the people that I know, even though they could still be wrong, I know that they more than likely have done their research. I know certain people, when they come to me, that they've probably watched a video on it. They've probably Googled it or read a book about it. I know that if they tell me something, the chances that it's right are higher than some other people. So those people I will listen to, even though I'm still going to wonder, I'm still going to ponder, I'm still going to think about it, but I'm more likely to be more accepting of what they said at face value. Now, I might still consider it later. I might still Google it myself, but I'm more likely to be like, okay, that makes sense, and kind of just, you know, listen to what they have to say than other people, because I know that they're serious about their research or about their, you know, whatever they're reading or whatever the topic is, or they're an expert in their field. I know that. So I know if I hit them up, I know I can trust their word. I have a really good friend. He's a photographer and he's very into astrology. He was into astrology before I was. And I know if I inbox him and ask him a question about astrology or about photography, that I really don't have to go behind him and research it. If he tells me something, I know he looked it up. He's a Virgo. A lot of my Virgos be on it. So if I ask him a question, I know that I don't have to go behind him. I can inbox him at any time of the day and ask him a question about astrology or about photography or about lenses or about lighting or anything like that. And I know his information is reliable. So if you want people to trust you, give reliable information. All right, let's check out some of these positive comments. Selena Dixon. Hi, Selena. Selena said, this holds true for me. I'm a sole paralegal and help my boss run the firm. I also enjoy canning the old-fashioned way. I'm constantly looking for new ways to make everything better. I love crafting and making something new. You hit it on the head. That is really cool. That's really cool. Canning is a great idea. My grandmother used to can peaches and things like that. That's a great idea. My mother did that too. Great ideas. I love crafting. I love that. Great ideas. Making things is really cool, isn't it? I love creating things. Like when you make a poem or you make a song or you make a painting or you make a doll. When you make something, I don't know. It's just real feeling of accomplishment and it's very emotionally satisfying. So that's really cool, Selena. Love wins. Yes, it does. Hey, Love Wins. Love Wins says, I'm leaving lots of things. I'm learning lots of things through your videos. That's wonderful. Me too. Doing the research for them, I learn a lot too. That's wonderful. And you explain things in a way I understand. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for leaving that beautiful comment. And remember, guys, if you're not subscribed, hit that red button because I got a lot more to say. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.